Hey friends, firstly good morning and welcome to an Empires and Puzzles video. Whew, I know I announced it a while back. I was waiting for today because there's quite an illustrious list that has been given out and is being termed as the greatest of all times. GOAT, which is not. Yeah, for new and players at an ordinary level, who are most of us, it could be a good opportunity. And I'll just quickly zip through it. And then today is the day that I am going to delete the account. But we can have a quick word. So I'm not going to go into hero discussion in detail. I'll just tap and quickly speak about them. So in the first row, which is 10 heroes, Phantom of the Opera is useful. You can actually see this. I've kept it at max preview to show you what the stats look like. So he is useful because of the Ballad of Obsession, which works as a debuff also. So, and Aether Power of Attack up is useful. Ojima was mind-boggling when he arrived, is extremely useful because he penalizes with damage, but those damage numbers of 1253 at max really is terrible. Otherwise, the special is extremely fantastic and useful. And that stack of all enemies get minus 7% mana gen is awesome. She's Hero of the Month. Quite a few have leveled her up, which showed that there is a possibility of occasionally having a decent, I wouldn't say mind-boggling. We have not received any mind-boggling for the last 4 or 5 years. But then the level of play has gone absolutely sky high, and Earthwalking Heroes of the Month comes. So her impact all burn and debuff really helps dispel. She is, and of course you can see that she has a decent compared to the previous two fellows in terms of stats. Lysanor, useful ice slow high, that's 60% chance to get revived with 20% HP. Fantastic. That buff of plus 50% attack is superb, and boosted health. All useful. Low stats. This guy, not very old, but still. Fast speed, impact 3, bleed damage, and a host of these shows that pretty useful and handy. In this whole lot, very clearly the one that any account will benefit from is this one. The rest of the fellows you can pick according to your color requirement and the number of heroes that you have. He heals, speeds up mana, and lifts cleansable. Quite useful at average speed. Functionally can be made fast. Construct fellow is helpful. And those stats are still better, and counterattack, Aether Power is nice. Alvar, that's an average speed, still decent. Stats, impact all damage, but he removes all kinds of debuffs that could have been put on you. That is cleansable status ailments from allies, and sends it forward. Duration of opposite side is increased in terms of ailments, and then whack. And reflection. So I would say he is impact all fantastic fellow. Well, stats not terribly low. This helps. Useful. He's an impact all fellow beyond his prime. So he whacks all, and that heavy hammer goes down on condition, which means your cleansers and dispellers get a real strong whack, and of course, damage drop to 1 is brilliant. Fast speed, whack, and spreading bleed very high. Useful Daroga. In this particular lot, depending on the color that you want, there are some decent fellows that you can actually pick up. Noteworthy this fellow. I'm talking about the ones that you'll use more often. Even he is going to be useful, but not from a damage perspective. This also. Going to the 20 heroes list, we got Darkfeather. I think he is the best in this particular portal from an overall support perspective. Doesn't have to be told. Of course, way beyond his prime in terms of stats. Even when you give LB2, the survivability is a huge question mark. However, the growth of 180 defense also helps him. And of course, you have to give him the appropriate troop, legendary troop to 8. Lemonwood eluded many, and is suddenly available over here. So he's a super fun hero. On offense, you can actually play him strategically, which adds to the fun. And I think this fellow is going to have everybody excited. And depending on the scenario, if you already have Darkfeather, you'll automatically pick him. And also, it feels that this is the soul exchange where the game should have allowed picking up 2 heroes. So, this and this, I think everybody wants. So, I think that's where this one becomes exciting. He is useful poking guy with good stats, very fast speed, but very niche. That's her costume. Useful and extremely helpful on both offense defense. Moving down to Mena. Mena's been an irritant for everybody, so I'm sure everybody knows this is useful, this is useful. Those stats are, I would say, relatively fine. 8th power is good. And the fluff volley gives the whack, steals mana, and any hero that reduces mana is fantastic. So Lemonwood has got a good competition. But Lemonwood and Mina's, unless you are really loaded with greens, then you'll have to compel to go with Lemonwood. Or if you're really loaded with a lot of yellows in the pipeline, then that's a different thing. But a decent number. So compared to what game has offered in the last 4 or 5 times, this one is, I will call, mind-boggling. So some good heroes. The big question is, who will I pick? So since I'm deleting, I decided to do this and then back up and free up because really doesn't matter. It's more of the player in me to have a bit of. Okay, so I'm short by 6. It's really funny how many crazy dudes I had. Okay, I think I have unlocked enough. So let's go. And we'll see who I select. Of course, there's one hero that I would have enjoyed playing with a lot. This fellow's costume showed up one of the days. Yeah, there's some interesting ones that have popped up. And that's it. I already received Dark Feather recently, enjoyed. So he's the fellow that I'm picking up. Yeah, that's it. Lemonwood arrives in the roster. Welcome, pal. Shortest stay of a new hero. That's fine. No longer play the game. That's done. Delete. If you have received, we have received it, we will process it shortly. Account identify. You'll be able to cancel this deletion within 7 days. Not going to do it. Here's the thing. When you delete the game app, very clearly delete the delete the game account. Also delete the game apps so that you don't get lured into if you really want to exit. If you don't want to exit, you can always leave the game progression intact and see how you feel like it. But this chapter of life is actually over. So, closed. Wish each one of you the very best in life. And bye. And my final cheers.